Thank you for watching another episode of It's Up There podcast with your boy Big Loon. I am your active and attractive host for another episode of the fastest growing podcast on the market right now. We got a lot going on. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in, tapped in, wherever you may be. You know, I'm starting to feel the love. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's a beautiful thing, man. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you're starting to feel the love after you put so much in it. You know, a couple of episodes ago, I spoke about sweat equity. I spoke about building from the ground up. I spoke about planting the seed and watching it grow, right? So I spoke about some things that was near and dear to me, just from a standpoint of operating these businesses without any outside influence or help, right? So it's important for me to speak power. It's important for me to speak independence to the youngsters. You know, it's important for me to get behind this mic now. This responsibility attached to this is starting to grow at a rapid pace. It's important for me to get on here and speak truth to power, right? And put it down so people can pick it up. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we come to do. You know, a lot to talk about today. The coach is in a great place. First of all, let me get to this. If you are listening to this episode of It's Up There podcast on any place where you get podcasts and you want to see the video of the podcast, then you head over to FOGFO TV on YouTube. And then you tap in right there and you catch a video or two. I got a playlist with all of the podcast episodes there. If you're watching the video of It's Up There podcast and you may have stumbled up on it, somebody may have gave it to you. It may be on some random site somewhere. I need you to, you know, kind of centralize the audience at this point because I'm now in business negotiations. I got things that get hundreds of thousands of views outside of my platform, right? And this is why I speak to the up and comers, right? This is why I speak to the creator that's in that position. I don't even got some information. When you hear me kicking game, and that's what I say, I wouldn't feel right, you know, putting people in a position to buy a seminar from me at this point that I'm at right now. You know, and people ask me, man, you break the business down, man. You be on it, man. Why don't you sell a master class? Teach me some, you know, and for me, it just, I haven't unlocked the certain information that I think is required and necessary for me to do such a thing and go to sleep at night knowing that people, when they came and touched me and talked to me and got some game from it, that they really left with some information that they can profit off of. Because I just got money moving around. So I don't even know whether I'm profiting, losing. I really don't. It's so many things. It's just in and out. I'm just going. So important that I speak to that. You know what I'm saying? And speak truth to power, man. And so we just appreciate everybody that's been tapped in. So we want to centralize, back to what I was saying, we want to centralize the audience in a way where it's where we can really try to go get the true value of the podcast, right? So I'm in a position to try to get some. I know there's a company called Quarter Lab that does a lot of business where they, you know, kind of help you centralize your audience in regards to they attach a content ID to it, almost like some sort of copyright written type of thing, right? YouTube, of course, we know how to go through those channels, but we talking about is my stuff is in places where they doing certain things and it's going viral and I'm not able to reap the benefits, and that's a hole in my boat that I gotta, you know, that deserves some of my attention. So I'll be looking into that. But yeah, so want to centralize the audience, man. And like I said, if you looking at the videos, thank you. If you're listening to the audio, thank you. You know, it's been a long week. This week has been filled with things that we kind of saw coming, you know, just based on patterns, and we kind of knew that was just headed right around the corner, right? Because when we talk about patterns, and for those of you that don't know, Joe Budden podcast has just now broke up. Joe did a couple of rants on Patreon behind a paywall. And then Maul and Rory responded by doing a video and kind of putting their side out there. Let me say this before I get into that. Charlamagne, I think you should forgive Maul. I think you should forgive Maul, and I say that, of course, it ain't in my hands to say, but I want to put a bug out there just to see. Not forgive Maul and bring him on your team or none of that, because if you listen to Loon and It's Up There podcast, let me speed up for you guys because I'm sure this clip is going to go out somewhere. But if you listen to It's Up There podcast, you heard me early on say Charlamagne stamped Maul. These little subtle things are handoffs, and I had to think about Charlamagne does give those handoffs that I talk about in weird ways and in the conventional ways, you know. So we see it from him. We see that he got points and assists. So he's a double-double nigga. You know, some of you guys are just gonna score. You ain't gonna get no assist. You ain't gonna play no defense. You ain't got no rebound. You don't really understand the game, but you gonna score. Now, until they put somebody on you that's a lockdown defender, or you believe in your shot so much that you start missing and you try to shoot your way out and you dig yourself in deeper holes, right? But Charlamagne, I think you should forgive them all. And the reason I say that is sometimes who you in proximity to starts to wear off on you. When I saw Maul go on that 2-hour rant and say, you know what, even Charlamagne said it. And, you know, his narrative has been a certain way about Charlamagne. Number one, Joe could have been having conversations with Maul about things that involve Charlamagne to kind of skew that. I do expect men to be smart enough to make their own decisions, although I see the opposite of that happen more than I would like to see that happen, right? So that's number one. But when I saw that, I said that meant a lot to do. To see Charlamagne, somebody that's stamped in this game, come and tell Joe Budden with the big ego that, yo, he the dude that make this thing go. This dude right here brings that next level to your podcast. That man right there, that was a thing, right? And he embraced that at the time. But somewhere along the line, he had to present the theater. Because if you can imagine what Joe possibly was saying to the public, what you think he was saying to his friends in regards to Charlamagne? He said in the public that he think dude is started a smear campaign. He said in the public that this man don't own nothing and he's signing for this or that or that's you know what I'm saying? So these are things in public. What you think he said to somebody that close to him? Number one. And so that's that for whatever reason, you know, he is a driving force in their situation over there, right? So, and I also think that if you see something working with your homeboy, he see Joe get on here and lie or act like he don't like people that he like. I keep telling y'all it's a game that a lot of these people play at the top, right? So they act like they don't like people or they just won't mention it. What this is doing is they think it's some kind of stock or cachet in their cosign or in their bare mention. That's how messed up we is as just a culture. In the bare mention of another black man business, we feel as though it's cachet in that should be paid for or should be some kind of way massaged. You see what I'm saying? But if you see your homeboy get on this mic and say this about Charlamagne, and you know them, they cool. They do a show every week. So does that work? That's why I say you teaching people how to treat you, right? So they're like, damn, he takes shots at him. So does that work? I'm gonna start taking shots. Maybe we'll do a show. It's some weird thinking, but hey, man, something is telling me that for him to even bring that up, something is telling me that meant a lot to him. That cosign, that stamp to Joe meant something. And Joe won't say it because Joe won't acknowledge anything that's competition to him. Period. That's why I said if he says your YouTube name, then it doesn't probably have a chance. I haven't looked at anybody he's ever shot it out, but I can almost guarantee that if he shot someone out other than somebody that works for him, with him, or is in direct competition, or he's trying to hire or trying to massage some relationship. I'm talking about if he just said, hey, yo, I went on YouTube and I scrolled up and I saw such and such and such. That channel probably is not shot with a professional camera. That's probably not professional audio. That's probably nobody that understands lighting there, right? So these are the games that's being played. And it's up to you to understand that and pick it up, you know. So Joe came out outside of Charlamagne Mall. Hopefully y'all can. But I don't know, you know. I don't know, because you represent that side of the street. And that's not for me to say, but it's something to think about. But Joe apologized to Rory. You know, he apologized to him, and I'll get into the Rory and Mal response. I'll get into the Rory and Mal response, but I also want to just talk about perspective, right? Sometimes your perspective is off, or your perspective is intact, but you can have a unrealistic view of things if you buy into this thing just a little too much, right? The thing about perspective and narcissism and being somebody that's just kind of self-centered, right? And it takes a certain amount of that to be who most people are that get behind this microphone and do it at a high level, right? And that's why I do applaud some people that go and get therapy, and it's kind of have changed who they are, and they've kind of they don't even operate with, it seems like they don't operate with negative energy or any kind of, I'm on defense. Sometimes I'm just naturally standoffish because I'm thinking what they trying to do. Who is this? Where they come from? Who sent them in here? How they know who was here? Who phone is that? Who they texting? What they trying to do? Go on, you know what I'm saying? Because my defense is to hurry up and get on offense. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to hurry up and, man, if it's an issue, let's put it down. You know what I mean? Because I can't operate long with that level of, I can't operate long with that level of distortion where I can't see no, sir. But perspective is everything. And so Joe apologized to Rory. We've seen him apologize to people when he says things. But what do we do with the humiliation? See, y'all kill me. A lot of people, a lot of you. What we gonna do with the humiliation? I know you said sorry. What we gonna do with the humiliation, though? What we gonna do with the people that believed what you said, and the sorry ain't never as loud as the humiliation? But what we gonna do with the people that you've affected, the way that they interact with me, and what they stand for in regards to me? What we gonna do with that? It's a two-step process. That's why, to me, apologies mean almost nothing. Apology don't really mean nothing. You sorry. What do you sorry? That don't do nothing for me. That don't get me past or make me forget about what happened or make me think different about what happened. You sorry? Nah, you not sorry. Because I don't want you to be sorry. I want you to be careful, and you gonna be careful. Or I'm gonna be out your way. And if we happen to cross paths because you just demand to be in my area, then I'm putting you down. You know, and unfortunately, that's the way things have to go sometimes, man. But it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. You see, one thing about working with people, one thing I know. When you work with people in the mud and y'all get it and y'all got it and y'all come out with it, and then you've got to the top, right? Y'all risen. Y'all start making money. But what happens is someone's perspective is off. And I got people that constantly remind me, because you constantly remind me I'm not as big as you are in regards to the fans. You got these subtle ways of doing it. That's why people take it offensive when you come and say, I got the crowd around the corner. I need to kind of pull you down a little bit. You keep going up there, man. What you keep going up there for, talking like that when we doing this together? It's always one of them that when we pushing together. Now, if you pushing by yourself, you deserve to go up there and scream at the top of the mountain. But if we all sit here twice a week for the same amount of hours, yeah, you think about it more. That's who you are, and that you stand to make the most. You stand to make the most money. I would think about it too. But the reality is, if we have a percentage-based contract and we can't see a contract that was lucrative to the business that we had a percentage-based contract for, what kind of games are being played and why are they being played? But it's perspective. See, we make the people that we think. We make the people pay dearly for what we think we gave them. And it's all about perspective. You thought you gave more to them than they gave to you. And sometimes we get lost in that. People go to thinking, I've given you this, I've given you this, I've given you that, I've provided this. And then there's somebody on the other side saying, well, I provided this and I provided that. Now, of course, these things need to be looked at through a microscope on a case-to-case basis. What I'm looking at is a couple of guys that's coming there every week, sitting down for the same amount of hours, on the same show, same Patreon thing going on. Now, outside of that, you will say, well, I'm thinking about it, I'm doing business, which you should be. And they should be too. And it's always somebody somewhere that want to make you pay for what they think they done for you. Day in and day out, they remind you of what they done for you. And you can't be talking about this house we went half on. You can't be talking about this furniture we went half on, and we can't be talking about the same situation. But see, I've been involved with them conversations where you and somebody ain't even talking about the same thing. I was there. Where your story come from? You telling these people one thing when I was there. And fortunate for me, I'm somebody that, I'm paying attention. So I can tell you details about the situation and why the outcome was what it was. But we all bumped into people, man, that every day they remind you. I'm the one that let you do this. I'm the one that did it for you. You the one that said, you know what I'm saying? And we dealing with that kind of situation when you see somebody say, we're dealing with that when we look at what we're seeing going on with the Joe Budden podcast. You know, I seen Charlamagne say he burnt the bridge. I talked about that. When you catching these episodes, they're recorded before. I do everything alone, right? So when you catch these episodes, that's why I like to timestamp what just happened and say, Joe Budden just did this today. Charlamagne just did this today. Jay-Z deal was closed today. You know, I like to give those timestamps so when you catch it, you know he was talking about it right then before things unfolded. But I've been talking about that. I knew we burnt that bridge. You used me to get in the game. Just like Casanova. I think about Joe Budden and Casanova. We don't even hear him mention Casanova at all. Tax Stone. We don't hear that. These people you call for your pull-up. You have 15 people that leveraging your friendship in business. Casanova fighting for his life. He can take some press right now. 10 minutes on the Joe Budden show. 5 minutes, 7 minutes. You called me to get it cracking. MAINO got a show. Wayno got a new podcast. These folks you called because they was hot in the moment. That's why I say you pay attention. All you got to do is pay attention. But I knew a bridge was burned because Charlamagne ushered a lot of the situations in. Spoke on behalf. Co-signed people when it meant nothing for him. You see what I'm saying? And these are the reality of the situation. However somebody feel about it means nothing to me. We all got feelings. We just better watch how they play out. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got a way they feel about something. You know, what I do is I speak on the game. I speak on situations. You know what I'm saying? It's up that podcast. It's just the realest one going. It seems like it's a lot going on with Joe Budden, right? We got Kevin Hart speaking on the breakup. You know, we got a lot of celebrities, and Kevin Hart got the kind of leverage where you don't need him speaking on that. He's looked at on the corporate side a certain way. He's what they call, you know, see, the white people like Kevin Hart. And I ain't talking about the fans. I'm talking about the people that do business. The white check signers. They like Kevin Hart. So when he says, I was taken back and you can't manage people well, that could affect some things. All this impression talk really don't mean nothing. All this, any promotion is good promotion. That only works up into a certain level. Again, it's levels to this thing. You hear that talk, you hear them people with that talk, all promotion is good promotion. They on a certain little level. At a certain level, some of that promotion we don't need. Some of that promotion affect things. Some of that promotion devalues a business that I've put so much into. So I got to protect it in a certain kind of way. But people kill me. They always holler. That's that little petty rap level. You know, that's that little petty rap level. That ain't nobody that's really getting money. So when you see Kevin Hart speak on it, that you got to know what that means. You got to know what Kevin Hart denouncing someone's leadership means. In the eyes of somebody, he's in the entertainment business, probably one of the biggest names in the business. And he wasn't doing it from that standpoint. He saw what we all saw. He saw it crumble from the inside while you've been talking creator. You got to be careful. Two things. You got to be careful what you stand for. But on the flip side of that, you better be careful how you treat somebody that come from the dirt. You better have some caution with how you treat somebody that come from the hood. Because them the ones that go get it, and they can get it in a way that these other folks can't get it. Once they break through that one little level. Once they get up there where it's easy to get money, it's just really talking and moving numbers around. You don't want to see one of us. You don't want to see one of us. It's a serious thing. The mindset, the mentality, the makeup. It's all intact. And it's intact in such a way where not only did they do it to me physically with the social contracts and the systematic issues, they done it to me physically. But what they done to me mentally, you couldn't fathom. I keep telling people it's about perspective. So what I got from it, you can't pay for. What I received from it, you can't go buy. There's no way to get the experience and the outcomes and it's no way to get it outside of being put through certain circumstances that I'm understanding a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable with. But you got Kevin Hart speaking on it. And right after that, somebody else come out. Olivia Dope. She said she's speaking her truth. She felt as though, and I'm not going to get into this a whole lot because, you know, Joe Budden is not somebody that I hate. I don't hate in particular any of these individuals. My job is to break down and explain the game. Look at the contracts from a standpoint of peeping the BS, looking at the situation for what it's worth, using my experience and what I've been through in life, what I've overcame and indulged in to have an outlook on the income. You see what I'm saying? So that's my job. So I'm not going to talk about this a lot because this is a serious situation when we go to talking about rape. I kind of stay away from that situation. Even that word is triggering. I kind of try to stay away from that. I've been involved with a lot of women that, man, almost every pretty woman, that I've encountered in some way has had a horror story in regards to somebody doing something that they wouldn't appreciate at such a tender age. And I understand what that does to the innocence. I would never be caught in a situation as anything like that. You see what I'm saying? It's important for people to say that because now I can hold you accountable for anything that look like anything. It's important for people to say things like that. Unfortunately, they haven't done so just yet. I'm not afraid of certain things because I understand that I would never indulge in anything that looks like anything, right? So because I mean, again, sometimes I've dealt with, laid with, been with a lot of women that's been in these unfortunate circumstances. So I kind of stay away from even playing with that. But I see that that's a way for people to grab things from people's past or say certain things to attach you, to grab onto you, right? It grab onto the casual listener. It's something about that word that you want to come see, especially about somebody that you care about or you think is cool. Hey, yo, I listened to his podcast. They said he X, Y, and Z. A lot of people go see. You can't. I could. What? Ain't no way. Right? It's a clickbaity thing. On top of whether it's true or not, that's up for debate. You know, you go look at the facts. Is what I'm saying. You right? Because I'm not speaking on any particular person, but what I'm saying is that word, that situation, that mention, just the bare mention of it puts you in a category that's unworkable. You think a felony is something. That's like a celebrity felony. When somebody put the R word attached to a celebrity, it's like having a felony for a regular person. Depending on how much happened, depending on what happened, said, you know, and depending on how big they are or who, you know what I'm saying? So it's a situation, but 100% putting that R word on a celebrity is the equivalent of having a felony. You know, they take away a lot of your rights. A lot of people won't work with you. You ain't just getting hired like that. Man, he got a felony. That's what I'm finna start calling it, right? So now, since you know that's what I'm calling it, follow the situation, because this even helps out with the algorithms and the way the YouTube and these other platforms work. When you mention that word, it instantly ain't nothing going, right? So when they put a felony on a celebrity, right, it messes up the money. It does something to the money. So this lady come out who used to work on See the Thing Is and said that she went through an unfortunate situation with Joe Budden. And we looked at it. I looked at it. You know, he was talking about what she said, a couple of things he was saying, you know, just, you know, things that's not appropriate, not work appropriate, and just not appropriate, right? What I think he needs to understand is, right, because at some point you got people saying, well, he knows there's cameras there, he's not serious. This is the game, right? And he may not be serious, but I want to remove him out the situation and just talk about the game. Because opportunity, sometimes you got to know not only your perspective, you got to kind of know how other people look at you. And not only look at you, you got contracts with these people. So you the boss. Man, that's some of the oldest game in the world. You know how long people been fake laughing with the boss? Man, the boss ain't never funny, man. The folks that's laughing with the boss, man, is only to secure the spot, man. You see what I'm talking about? So when you the boss, you got to know who you talking to, man. I can't be talking to my employees a certain way. This ain't love and hip hop. I can't be saying I want to fuck you and I'm your boss, right? If we co-workers, I get it for content purposes is what I'm saying. Even if it's for content purposes, as the boss, I can't insert myself as that low-level talent. That's low-level talent, sex. And that's why my podcast is so many people love it. You get something. The boy just saying, the boy going. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't a situation where you can just do the low-level comedy, the low-level conversation. It ain't gonna work. It's too many podcasts. It ain't gonna work. The low level, it ain't gonna work. You understand? The interview base, they working that play right now. We trying to figure out how long that works. Is that a thing? That's that Breakfast Club play. But the Breakfast Club is a different situation because it's a radio. It's radio. So if we really take a liking to you, that's all these markets you in. It's kind of the same with the pod because there's a lot of people looking from a lot of different places, so you can argue the fact. But the jury's still out on will an interview-based podcast work. The jury's still out on that. But as my boss, as the boss, you can't just say certain things. You really sometimes can look at the person, man, he ain't really laugh at that. He fake laugh. He finna ask me for something. You see what I'm saying? He trying to be too friend, but the boss come through, you know what I'm saying? And people do things that they regularly don't do because they know the boss is still a human. So they try to get on the good side. And she said they did a lot of cutting of that, and I don't want to go into specifics, with that. It's a hell of a thing, but I do want to talk about why Joe Budden might have lost the Cash App deal or what he's doing about the Cash App deal. So if you've been paying attention to the podcast, the Cash App deal has now came off of the podcast. It's no longer there. Now, you could say, is this right on time? Because if Rory and Mal about to take you to court, you really can now show some accounting and no money's coming in, and you can say the Cash App pulled out because of the sexual allegations, misconduct allegations. So we don't even have a deal. We have nothing on here now. We're making $0. So you get, what do you get? According to your contract, 33% of zero is how much? And you sit behind some expenses. So let's subtract that. Now you owe us money. It can get like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, is it because I don't want to put it on a video where I'm addressing, number one, Kevin Hart being that big of an entity, addressing Kevin Hart saying that I was in the wrong and kind of admitting that I'm wrong and mismanagement and I don't know what I'm doing? Or is it because of the allegations with Olivia? Or is it because we're about to head to court soon with Rory and Ma? I think they're gearing up to try to send us some paperwork somewhere. So let's put the business in a new position. Let's put the business in a position where it's making $0. It's actually costing money. Right? That's the way you can look at that. And it happened right on time in regards to how he can use some of this stuff that's happening to do that. And he doesn't have to do that. He can just stop putting. He can just say, "Hey, I'm pausing the deal. You never did it for this anyway. So that deal is we're done with. We're putting it on the right. How much you getting?" And it probably have a participation clause in the contract where you have to be on Patreon to get money off Patreon. So what Ish and Ice is doing on Patreon, I'm not sure that Marlon Rory is entitled to any of that money. After that, you had Ebony K. Williams came out. Like I said, it looks like it's a lot going on. If there is someone doing a smear campaign, which I don't believe there to be, I just think this is how the chips fall sometimes. When things start happening, they happen like this. And that's unfortunate for the dude, you know. But at some point, you work your way out of that you know, key. Every, you know, you got to, man, you just lost your crew. This not playing time. Your content needs to go up, my boy. You can't be so arrogant to think, hey, man, the content's going to stay. I'm going to stay number 1 or 2 or 3 or wherever you land at every week. You can't be that ill-advised, man. This ain't the time to, I failed you every 10 minutes, my brother. Respectfully, you got to put your foot on the gas. It's time to do something, my dude. You losing your business. You worked the last 4 or 5 years to build this thing. That's the problem with us. We don't know how to close a fight. We'll get you with a good one, hit you with a jab. Weave, bam, boom, bam. All you got to do is one more to the body, they down. But sometimes we don't know how to do that. I don't know where that comes from because my eyes got to stay on the prize. I come from a place where it's obligation. It ain't up for debate whether or not your head can come off the swivel down here where I'm at. It's obligation. So when I see people sometimes losing your whole business and laughing through it, and I'm not talking about from a podcast standpoint because the content is the content, but you got to step it up. You just lost 2 of your people. These deals don't last forever. You got to step it up. You understand me? But we as people got to take things more serious, especially when we put in as much as we put in. And if y'all look like y'all want to lead this thing and I'm really who I said I was, oh, you about to see me pull it up by the bootstrap. You finna see it. I'm finna show you. I'm finna show you what I was to begin with, what I told you I was. I told you deserve 20% because I'm an 80% monster. I deserve the 80. I'm finna show you why I always told you I deserve the 80. 2, 3, like I'm going off, right? Because it's time to buckle down. It's a pivotal place you in and you playing. It's pivotal that you understand, my brother. You got to say, hey, man, I just lost 3 people. They got sexual allegations going on. They got, I ain't got a deal right now with my shit being number 1. What am I doing? How am I joking and playing and ha-ha-ha-ing through this? This ain't the time for that. Let's go get it. But if you with that, you with that. If you're not, you're not. And unfortunate for them, I don't know what side of the street they land on. I can only speak for myself. I can guarantee you, however the chips lay, I'm ready, I'm prepared. And that's where you got to be at. And I ain't perfect at all. I try to learn every day. I got flaws that I can't control. I got things going on that I don't understand why they going on. What I'm saying is I'm resilient. What I'm saying is I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to get it done. That's what I'm telling you. So the weather don't matter. We coming. Don't nothing matter on that side. We coming. Don't nothing nobody say in a scepter, in effect what I got going on no level. Can't nobody get in the way of what I'm done set my mind on. Right? Nobody. And so it's important that I speak truth to power and let people understand what it really is. And how this thing really go. You know, I know they say, well, Loon, you paying attention to what a lot of these podcasters doing. It's a new industry. They leave no information. You gotta do that. I keep telling y'all, when Jay-Z and them back in the day did in them, everybody talk about the contracts. The only game we had is copy the game. They didn't leave none. We just gotta copy them. Some of them probably led with their contract to start their label, make the contracts like this. This is industry standard. That's probably where industry standard came from. What they doing to us, we now implementing. Until somebody get up there, they can say, no, tweak this, tweak that, tweak this, tweak that. Then we not in a position to really influence, it really influence the outcome like we should be. Like we should be, right? So I pay attention to things. I pay attention to things that I probably shouldn't pay attention to. But fortunate for me, I was born in a time where these things become valuable. These things become worth money when you're able to look at things the way I look at things. When you've been through some of the things and skated through. Man, I did some things. I made a lot of money and did some things, man. You know what I'm saying? And it took a certain level of understanding and a certain mindset to do it how I done it. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. You know, but when you look at the podcast game, right? And you say, well, Joe, you saying Joe got to step it up, man. Who are you? If you ever listen to me, you understand who I am. You understand the mentality. You understand what I got, whether or not I'm well put together or not. If I understand what I'm saying, how long it take him? Is he looking at something? Look at him. What is he doing? He ain't looking nowhere. He just going. The boy don't even got notes. You got to understand what it take to do this. Again, that's why I say copying me won't get you far. I make it look way too easy. What goes into this, you couldn't fathom. You couldn't understand. Without any help, you couldn't understand. Right? You could not understand what goes into this. I make it look too easy. But that's part of the magic trick. That's part of the value. That's part of what make it valuable, right? And evaluation is everything. But if you ever listen to me, you know who I am. You know what type I am. If you don't listen to me, it ain't about criticism. It ain't about criticism. It's about taste. And if you know me, you know what kind of taste I got. So what I say ought to be law. You understand what I'm saying? It should be somewhere in the dictionary what dudes say it got to ride, man. He done paid attention and kept it real too long. You understand? I understand that they ain't, you know, a lot of people don't really understand these kind of language or what I'm saying. But those that do, you'll catch that and you'll understand that. But you just got to step it up, dog. When you tell Rory and Ma that you use the same accountant that's been in the music business for years and think that's a plus, they let me know your perspective is in a weird place. I won't say right or wrong. I'll say weird place. You see, that's what I'm saying you can't buy. Split second, understanding, go that way, go that way. This is the shit that you can't understand. I wanna move past that, and I want to speak to Charleston White. Those of you that know me know Charleston White. Been on my podcast. You know, we sit for a long time, 4.5 hours. I want to put some game down. I want you to, you know, kind of see what I'm saying about this game that you in, or we in, or this whole thing. See, you might be around some people that's playing the old game. YouTube is a great game to be in. But it's Atari. It's Atari right now. We got people making $40,000 a month on Patreon consistently. On top of the YouTube little money. That ain't even Patreon. These paywalls. Put yourself in a position. So we were having a conversation and I was saying, man, Patreon is the new move. You know, it's situations where, cause see, the thing about YouTube and this game I gotta put down, because it's not only for me and him to have a conversation, it's for the other ones, the youngsters, the little ones, right? It's for y'all, because you know this platform, we give it to y'all. We give it to the youngsters. Run around with the information. We put in the sweat equity. But the thing about the YouTube situation, anybody can take your YouTube situation from you at any time. Not even that you done nothing, because the platform is so algorithm based without any real human interaction that they'll snatch it down just based on if people do dumb shit on there. Far as report. People can send report at you, and they take your money away. You got to start over. They don't even hear what you're saying. You just got to start over. Unfortunately, that's the situation. But YouTube can't nobody do that. Patreon can't nobody do that. The truth about YouTube is it's now becoming a springboard. And if you don't transition with the game, you get left, or you always 4 or 5 steps behind, or you're not maximizing in a way where you could. Monetization is one thing. It's one thing, but centralizing your audience is a total different fight. That's what this new game is about. This new game ain't about monetization. That's old game. The new game is centralizing your audience, making sure that you know who your people is that'll spend with you and keep it real and come to your shows and get your merch, do things for you, right? That's the new game. So I try to put the game down, right? But hey, man, those who don't retract their opinions for the truth love themselves more than they love the truth. Those who never retract their opinions love themselves more than they love the truth. I love the truth more than anything, and this game is different now. It's changing. It's in the centralizing. All these folks is doing is centralizing their audience and selling it to somebody. This is the new game. I shouldn't be saying this, but that's the value of this show. That's the value of this podcast, is you come and you get these kind of things in which nobody else is going to tell you. Whether they understand or not is one thing. But the second thing is what I understand, and I'm going to get it out to the people when I feel like giving it to the people. There's money and value attached to me understanding these things. But again, there's plenty of sites. You can sell videos for $10 a piece on Venmo. I'm doing it right now. We talk about 15,000 from this platform, 35,000 from this platform. And YouTube, you know, you can go there it's a springboard. That's the new game, right? And I got a young YouTube guy that he named my videos and all that, break it down, right? So, and put it on YouTube, and some of them had these little titles. And so the title was a situation where I guess it painted him in a way. And he was like, man, I gave you my life story. I kept it real. I'm like, bro, that ain't about nothing. And I try to put you on the Patreon game. And so that's what the Patreon game is. There's big money involved in that. Understanding this game, though. Not where it's at, where it's going. All the smart niggas know where it's at ain't nothing. Where it's going is everything. Where is it going, though? I know where it's going. And that's where the value come in at when you step on this side, right? I'm already on. Everything I got, I own it, and ain't nobody got a hand in on it. Ain't nobody profiting on it besides me. This belongs to me. But nobody has a hand in on it. And see, but again, it take a certain level of understanding to be able to, you know what I mean? But shout out to bro. You know what I'm saying? It ain't an issue just yet. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing, you know, me and him had a good conversation. We kept it real. It was fruitful to me. We got a lot out there. It was a lot going on. But hey, man, this is the real deal. Far as me, what I got going on, undeniable, undisputed. You know what I mean? Whatever somebody, let's really crank it up and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? As far as any podcast out there, any YouTube or anybody doing blogs, you know what I'm saying? When you get into this game, family, understand this game. YouTube is the last. Everybody's moving off YouTube. Not moving, but you centralize your audience. You move your audience. Because they can at any moment, if you know YouTube, you know how this works. You can get into it with some people on YouTube, and they'll send people to report his channel, get him out of here. So that money you were making got to start all over. Not that you can't do it, but who want to keep starting YouTube channels? That's waste of time when the real game is in Yeah. Putting all that shit in your locker. You understand me? Putting all that shit in your locker. Yeah, so Maino had a situation, had a BDOT on his podcast Kitchen Talk. That's on YouTube. Maino is a rapper out of New York, man. I know him. I'm sure if you listening, depending on who you are, where you are, because I do have a unique listenership. I appreciate y'all. So Maino is a New York based rapper out of Brooklyn. Did some time. He the dude I was talking about, Bobby Shmurda, when he done his interview with, because he kind of respect his street ties and just what he stood for, what type guy he was, you know. So he went and sat down with him instead of Breakfast Club or Complex News, or he went and sat with his homie, somebody that's in the city. Because anybody would have flew to the city for that interview. ABC, NBC probably would have flew, right? You know, certain big boy spots. But anyway, he had B-Dot, which B-Dot is a journalist in the rap game. Been a staple, him and Elliot Wilson. Shout out Elliot Wilson. They had the website Rap Radar, and they got Rap Radar podcast, along with Elliot Wilson got Crown over on Tidal. Elliot Wilson does a lot on Tidal, so shout out to dude, man. Put a lot of work in. B-Dot moving around, doing stuff with Complex. They're going to always secure a deal because they have cachet in the game. Let's say that. Maino was talking to B-Dot about his coming up inside of the rap game, right? And being an independent artist, and how B-Dot maybe didn't cover him like he would like to be covered, right? And so, or had some wishy-washy type of ways. And let's listen to some of it, and I'm going to come back and give you a reaction in regards to what my outlook on it is, what my outlook on friendship and business is, just this whole thing. Again, this is what this is about. It's up there, man. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm standing next to him. I remember Maino put out a record. This is
with this Up There podcast.
We gonna get to all that.
It was when I was at Rap Radar, but now I'm a game show host on Complex. Shout out to Complex Brackets. Every Wednesdays at 12.
With this Up There podcast.
But anyway, so Maino had put out a record, and I didn't like the record. I didn't think it was good. And I expressed myself on the website. A couple weeks later, I was at an event, and Maino saw me, and it was like, you. And he gave me like that Fredo kiss of death, like you know when he
with this Up There podcast.
I don't remember what he said, but you know he tried to put the fear of God, you know, the hand of God. He was trying to put the fear of God in me.
No.
It didn't work, but I told him like I didn't like the record.
I wanted you.
See that first shot? It didn't work. I hate when somebody come around you and they do that kind of extra tough. And this ain't about B-Dot unless he feels this is him, right? That I'm speaking about. This ain't about anybody particular. Again, I'm just observing situations and putting game down. Allow me to hustle, right? But it's always somebody that come around you and they think that that you tough, so they want to be tougher than you. They want to show you that I'm not scared of you, or you can't be tough and broke. And you can't be tough and rich. At a certain point, tough got to go out the window. Now, being on defense and preserving life is a totally different thing, but the tough thing got to come up missing at some point, you know. And then a lot of people that's tough, they tough, but they harmless. You know, you ever see the dude in the car, all right, buddy, and flick you off and all that. You know, if I catch you, you can't do nothing with this. You can't be tough and harmless, and you can't be doing, you know, certain things. Like I remember a dude I was talking to, right, and word had got out in the hood a little bit that, man, this dude been saying what he gonna do to Loon, right? You know, Loon getting a little too much. He said he finna try to, yeah. I bust down in the hood one day. I pull up, you know, and it's always on me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important to preserve life, right? So it's always on me. So I pull out the car. He holler, let me get your number. I'm talking to somebody else, right? And so back in the day, back in the day, the number trick was I'm gonna call you, tell you to meet me somewhere with something. Then I'm gonna try to get in the car with you and jack you. You know, that used to be the game. So I said, damn. He said, hey, Loon, what's your number? So I walk up on him, right? And everybody know I keep it on me. Everybody that know me for real know it's on me at all times. Every time it's on me. Every time it's on me, right? So they know this. So they know if you do something, you better be careful, cause he gonna try to send you. He gonna try to send you to hug Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He gonna try to send you to hug Jesus now. So I come up on him and I'm giving him my number. He's shaking. He a dude that done stuff to plenty of people. He known for doing stuff like he gonna harm you and hurt people and all that. He's shaking bad. So I'm peeping it. I'm knowing. See, he ain't knowing that they gonna come and tell what you say. Everybody want a favor. Everybody trying to let somebody know I'm with bruh. I'm with you, bruh. You know, so was saying. Then they care about you. They love you. This dude might try to harm you. You know what I'm saying? He talking about this and that. So I didn't say nothing to him right there. But I gave him that energy like I blow, man. I send you where, boy. And some things happened to him after that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just crazy. So you got to be careful, man, with what you do and your intentions. Sometimes some people are smart enough to read your intentions or feel them. It's a feeling that come with some people when they come around. I feel like I shouldn't have let you this close. I feel like you shouldn't have knew that much. How did I vent to you? What was I thinking? How did I even end up next to somebody that'll end up next to somebody like you know what I'm saying, in regards to what you've been with and what you had on and what you left with and what you will be with. You know, those things come in question when you're dealing with people on certain levels. You know, but let's get back to this. See, that's the good thing about podcasts. You get to go where you want. But let's get back to this. Again, what they're talking about is MAINO is saying that MAINO put out a record. First of all, I was addressing the fact that he was talking like I'm tough in your house. I wasn't scared of you. I ain't scared of you. You shouldn't be scared of me. So that could have been better left unsaid. I don't expect nobody to be scared of me. I just survived whatever happened to you. Don't nobody be scared of nothing, but survive whatever happened to you. That's all you better be worried about, me included. We ain't scared of nobody. But if it get done to you, survive whatever happened to you. But let's get back to what they talking about. MAINO telling him, man, hey, man, you shouldn't even spoke on that, man. You dogged me on one of them records. He said he tried to scare me after that, and it didn't work. Let's continue.
Understand this.
It wasn't a good record, though, MAINO. I'm just being honest.
What record
listen,
was it?
I forgot what record it was, but check this out. Every artist.
But it's up there podcast.
Not so good.
Facts.
Based on whatever. Every record that I made, I don't think was the shit. Yeah. Right? But my only thing with you is
But it's up there podcast.
I don't come from a strong rap camp.
Okay.
Everything I gotta get on my own. Right? This game is based off of relationships.
True.
This relationships lead to preferential treatment for artists.
But it's up there podcast.
We've witnessed it. We've lived it. Bro, you a dude that I got a personal relationship with. If you don't like the record, keep that shit to yourself. But no, it ain't no It ain't no no, it's no
Nah, it has to be. It has to be.
It can't be.
Know why?
It cannot be.
It has to be because
Okay. Listen to me. If we saying we got a personal relationship that proceeds in
But it's up there podcast.
This musical a place that we in right now, and then when I see you asking me about my son and we talking about how we came in the game together and all that, then I need that treatment though, bro. I don't like, because in your voice,
but it's up there podcast,
just beginning to be respected, right? And at the same time, and this is what you didn't realize. You speaking on a site.
But it's up there podcast.
who used to always speak down on me. Elliot Wilson.
Shout out to Elliot.
Right. Shout out to Elliot Wilson.
A partner on Rap Radar podcast.
Right. Indeed. Elliot Wilson, back then at this time, only always had negative things to say about me.
Really? I don't remember that.
This is a fact.
I don't remember that.
Let me tell you, it was so much of a fact that, and I'm pretty sure y'all could figure out a way to go find it. Around the time when my first album was coming out, he always had negative things to say about me, and I wanted to pull his curls out of his head before. This is a fact. I did.
Elliot's a good guy.
No. Listen.
With this Up There podcast.
Understand. This is how I felt at that point, but I never did. I never said nothing. He don't even know that I even noticed that. But we used to be at the label. They would come to me and say, "Yo, why this guy don't like you?"
You felt that? I've been around. I've worked with Elliot for
a fact.
Man, I'll be honest. This is how you feel, but I've worked with Elliot for over 10 years. I've never heard him say anything negative about you. I've never heard him.
With this Up There podcast.
All right, but hear me out. When you say I don't have a right to say how I feel, I disagree, because I feel like if music is art and art is subjective, and if you don't like what person's going to say about it, you should keep it in the house. Because when you put something
with this Up There podcast,
public domain,
indeed, but listen to this though. If the person that's speaking is my God and his voice is, and you speak negatively on mine, then what's the treatment?
I think that's real. I think that's
that ain't real.
Hold on. Can I say something?
I need listen.
Can I say something?
Hold on. Let me get this off.
Okay.
Let me get this off. I understand what you're saying because you're speaking like everybody get the same treatment, right? Then what's the sense of us having we not really? We just regular.
What kind of man would I be if I didn't tell you the real shit? I'm
No,
gonna say everything. So every record should be good.
But keep that same energy when it's good music.
Of course.
No, you don't, and that's my issue with you.
That's
my issue with you.
That's never been.
You don't keep. Hold on. You don't keep the same energy when it's good. When it's good music. I never heard you. How many times I told listen? I've been singing the same song all the time. Check this out. I told you on many times. I never hear you speak on my music publicly. You'll call me or you'll text me. It's like, yo, that was hard. But I never heard you publicly go the length as I seen you go for other people.
I publicly bought your album.
I
publicly bought your album, the debut album. And not only did I buy the album, I posted the receipt on rapradar.com. That's a fact. You can literally go in there right now.
After your man said it was never gonna come out.
No, I actually.
After your man, he said that.
I don't know if he said that. I don't know if he said that, but I know I bought it. But I know I bought it.
The top is.
I know I bought it,
and flap of the curls because he got a funny wig. Like I thought about it.
Okay.
No, I thought about it. Shout out to Elliot, but it was a thought.
Okay.
Well, but let me just show you how much of a gentleman I am. I knew he talked about. All
right, this is more so to me about. This is more so to me about friends and support. You don't supposed to have your friends to be the reason why your business is moving, but your friends is supposed to support you just because they're your friends, right? But there's a weird thing that's going on where people are trying to, number one, copy, number two, trick you out of whatever it is you think you got going on, right? So Maino is in a situation where he has a personal relationship with this dude. You know, he has a personal relationship with BDOT to where he thinks, hey man, BDOT supposed to speak a certain way about me. That's how we give it up. That's my guy. He asked about my son. Me and this dude we supposed to be tight. But guess what? In this game, ain't nobody tight with each other. This game right here is based on income and output. I'm going to say that again. This game is based on income and output. But you can't be my friend telling me that something that mean the world to me, something that mean everything to me, mean nothing to you. How can something that means so much to me, mean the world to me, means so little to you, and you call yourself my friend? But see, we live in a world now where the clout chasing thing is approaching. It's here. It's actually here. It's at the forefront of people's mind, their life, their way of looking at people. People in 25 years knowing each other because of somebody said on the internet. People expressing themselves in ways they never did before because of the internet. But the key to it is fame is a hell of a drug. But the fucked up thing about humanity and my people in particular, that we want the clout so much, we love the fame so much, we want it even if it's attached to death. You can attach fame to death and people will be okay with dying. I just think we find ourselves in a place now, man, in a world where the internet has came and disrupted everything that we know to be normal. Everything that we stood on, everything we thought we had, everything we thought we knew. Some people just not finding out. I was taught milk was good for the body. Milk is terrible for the body. I just read it. So at some point, you know, we'll catch up. This thing will catch up. And that's why you see me kicking and pulling and scratching to get in the game. Because it ain't no regulations on it. There's a lot of red tape to get in it. But once you get in it, they can't stop me. There's no way to stop me. My thinking is too much. Even if I ain't in the forefront of it, I got too many ideas. I spent my whole life dedicated to the cause. My whole entire life. And so my job is that everybody can do what they want to do. My job is to build better understanding for our youth. Better understanding the contracts and business side of entertainment. How entertainment is, in fact, a business. But we don't know that. And that's why I'm put here, and I'll do my best. I'll set my best foot forward to make sure it happens. All right, let's listen to a little bit more of it and see what they got going.
Disfavorably, and I knew he talked about me crazy in the first time I met him. You know what I did?
With this Up There podcast.
Just like that.
But if it was unfavorable, did you get coverage on Rap Radar? Did you always get coverage on Rap
But
Radar?
I got spoke about dirty.
That's not true, man.
How you gonna tell me that's not true though, bro?
I covered.
I'm talking about what they.
I don't know. I don't know.
Say that.
I don't know.
Don't say that.
With this Up There podcast.
So you don't know.
I said I don't. I've been around. I've been around Elliot for over 10 years.
Listen, if I never
heard him say anything negative about you.
Cool, indeed.
That's a fact.
But check this out. If my product manager at the label that I'm signed to, Marsha.
I don't know Marsha.
You do know Marsha. Shout out to Marsha St. Hebrew.
Okay.
Right? She got everybody, right? If my product manager at the label is bringing this to me, she's bringing it to me. Like, look, then it was an issue. But they sat me down because at first I wanted to address it because I didn't understand. Like, the way I looked at it is, here we go in New York. Everybody talking about New York is dead, and I'm one of the few artists at this time that actually had music that was playing nationally, and now my own homegrown people from my own city is talking.
What year was this? This is XXL time or this is Rap Radar time?
This is early Rap Radar, so this is
because we started in 09.
This has had to be around 08, 09. 09, yep.
Okay, because we started in 09.
So that's when it was then. That's when it was. This is a fact.
All right, well. Was he speaking a bad
with this Up There podcast?
Musician, as a rapper.
As a rapper.
Okay. I think that's fair then.
That's not fair, man.
How?
Everything, cause you see, that's the problem with you niggas, man. You think you niggas could say anything without no kind of, you know, without it being any type of repercussion. And I'm not saying like nothing violent or no type of shit like that, but I'm just saying like it ain't fair. Like, you don't know me, nigga. But right? You don't you don't know
with this Up There podcast
on things. Your opinion matters. Like you.
But no one's gonna give 100% a favorable opinions all
Nobody
the time.
asked you neither.
Music is art.
You guys are coming
Check this
from.
out. Check this out.
I think I understand.
And this is why I never. And this is why.
Both of you
And this
guys
is why.
are coming from.
And this is why I never said nothing. This is why I never.
With this Up There podcast.
I never said one thing. I never said, yo, bro.
I'm just not a part.
You
I'm
said.
sorry,
I'm
Georgie.
sorry.
Like I'm just not.
Nah, Georgie's in here. Nah, jump on in, Georgie.
It's in.
This is like an intervention.
Right, that's how I feel.
you
Because
fucking
but regardless, listen. Can y'all
This
hear
is
me?
why I never said nothing.
He's still.
No, sit up.
I hear this too, Georgie.
This is why I never said nothing. I never said nothing. I never approached him about it, and I only brought it up as a reference to the time that we're talking about, right? Now,
With this Up There
I
podcast.
took that on the chin.
Okay.
Okay, it's music. This is what it is. I didn't like it, and I never said nothing. But you, I look at it a little bit different because I have a relationship with you. I don't hold him to the same regard because he don't owe me nothing.
True.
Right? He don't owe me nothing. He didn't even know me. And I don't even know if we even had met at the time. His opinion was whatever his opinion was. Cool. You know what? It is. It is what it is.
With this Up There
They sat me
podcast.
down in the office. They told me what it was, and I left it alone. When I seen him, I shook his hand, and for the most part, we've been cool.
Okay.
Right? And I think I proved him wrong.
Okay.
Throughout.
With this Up There
But you, I
podcast.
felt like
So he's basically saying, if you my friend, call me and tell me about the album. Tell me it ain't no good. Give me some criticism to make me get better with this thing. Go forward. Be better. Be a better man, a better person, right? Do that for me. And I can understand that. I wanted to talk about something, man, too, about business, about podcasting, right? So I'm in the sweet spot. I like to call it the sweet spot, where it's big enough to monetize and monitor, but it ain't big enough to bootleg. So all the money get to come to me, man, and I think that's a very unique situation to be in. Although I do need to get a few things right, SEO, things like that, to make sure that all roads lead to the right place, right? But I'm big enough to monetize and get a whole bunch of people that'll come mess with me and like me and monitor, but I ain't big enough to bootleg. Once they start bootlegging you, that's when you're getting bigger. It's a sign that you're getting huge, right? In the game, in the podcasting game, it's a sign you're getting huge. But the fact of the matter is, it's a sign also that you're losing money because they're putting it on Reddit, they're putting it on Twitter, they're putting it on these spots where you're not able to monetize and flag these things, which is a whole different conversation that I'm probably just gonna leave alone. For the most part right now, just because that's, it's probably what I'm gonna do. I gotta get some more game on it, but we closing the gap right now. I also want to talk about, man, if you're in a relationship or you in business with somebody, or you depend on somebody, or somebody depend on you just for things in their life, you got to be able to be present in the moment. You got to be able to be present in them people's life, man. I saw Kevin Samuels the other day say that men need to be told that, hey, because you are here, my life is easier. Things are better for me. Things are really, really better for me. And I thought to myself, that is a great thing to hear, especially when you kicking and pushing. So she don't even gotta understand what goes into it. You don't even got a clue what's going on. Again, it's a luxury and a gift to make it look easy, but internally it's a big problem to make it look easy, because then the value a lot of time is attached to the hard work in people's lives. But when you are building with sweat equity and different things like that, you do work where nobody can see the work. So if nobody can see the work, they think the work either is not done or is non-existent. Both of those being wrong, you have to live in that reality. It's an unfortunate situation. And when I heard Kevin Samuels say that, I said, damn, what if your woman just came? And I said, damn, that is a hell of a thing, because see, you got to know the difference between when you enter somebody like man, woman, whoever you deal with, whatever you deal with, you got to know when you come in somebody's life, you got to know the difference between being an instrument and being instrumental in somebody's life. You see how they sound the same, but they totally different. There's fundamental differences in the both of them. You can be an instrument, but not be instrumental. A lot of women are getting money from dudes, which make that dude an instrument in her life, but you're not instrumental in her life. A lot of men are getting sex and different sexual favors from women that make them an instrument in their life, but you're not instrumental in their life. Right? So we got to work on being instrumental outside of just being an instrument. There's two different things. You'll never hear people say these things. I come up with these things on the fly. You can't tell me ain't no money involved in that. But it's I think at some point we gotta, ain't nothing wrong with our aim. Like homies say, you just gotta change your target. You know, put your target on the right thing and pipe down on that. You know what I'm saying? And put yourself in a position where you really, really getting money and you getting off, man, and you handling your business and your woman love you. But I know women that love men and got good men that don't say certain things, don't breathe life into them. I know men that got good women that don't breathe life into her. Right? She making sacrifices to make sure you good. She staying up late when you come stumbling in from the studio at 2 a.m. She jump up and make something to eat. When you get done podcasting and it's 3, it's you tired, body hurt. You been going from 4 this morning from the gym to the studio to the podcast to the businesses outside of entertainment to kids to going to get suits and this and that. These folks don't really understand because you make it look so easy. So sometimes she the one staying up. He had a busy day. When he lay down, I may be a little tired. I'm gonna jump up and rub his back. Let him know, baby, I see you working hard. She working too. She picked up 2 shifts. She a nurse. COVID is out here. She picking up shifts, helping people, saving lives. You supposed to, hey man, I see you going through a lot. Let me such and such and such and such. We got to work on being instrumental and not just an instrument. You know what I'm saying? And I think we'll get there. You know, with each other, with people like me putting game like this down, I think we'll get there. It's just a matter when we get there, and it's just a matter will the people blow up the right stuff that needs to be blew up, so us as a collective can get something from this well, from this water fountain. You know, it's Up There podcast, man. I appreciate everybody that's looking and listening to another episode. Again, active and attractive host Loon. Go stream Dead Ball. Go to FOGFO TV. Look at all the movies. All the podcasts. We got live events coming. We got Dr. Umar Johnson and Lil Boosie coming. And we just working hard, man. We working hard and we putting game down and we picking money up, man. And so many people love it. So I get a lot of DMs every day, man, that, hey, man, I appreciate what you do, bro. You rocking, bro. It's cold, man. This podcast ain't signed. What? How you ain't? Who you messing with? What you doing? You know, a lot of people hitting me up, and I appreciate y'all, man. Ain't nothing like, I don't get no better feeling than that. I ain't nothing but, I'm a simple nigga. I ain't no different than a lot of these other niggas. Motherfucker tell me my podcast fire. I'm loving that. That's hard to me. Listening to, getting on the phone with some of these people that make $5-10 million a year from talking. They say, dog, ain't nobody talking like that. And I know them all. That's love to me. That feel great to me. That's inspiring to me. All I need is extra pushes because I'm going to figure it out. One thing you can bet everything you ever had, that if one thing you can bet everything you ever had, if it can be figured out, I'm going to figure it out. No help. I don't need nobody help. Now, if you're an investor and you wanna do some kind of trade off to figure out what's going on and be a part of a multi-million-dollar situation, let's make it happen. Low income. Low. It's a relatively low risk at high income. You know what I'm saying? And so you got them kind of situations. If not, I've got it all my life this way. We gonna be all right. This right here is built, not bought. Can't nobody say they done this here. This is all me, man. Me and the good one. The big one. Yeah, the big God. It's Up There podcast, stand for something or fall for anything, man. I'm the biggest in this shit. And ain't nobody, that excludes nobody. Can't none of them got more game than me. No, none of them. I like them all. I like everybody. Understanding is key, though. Understanding is key, though. But I appreciate everybody for listening and looking. If anybody out there want to get some money with us, we are open to getting some money with a few people. Let us know and let's get it rocking. It's Up There podcast.
With It's Up There podcast.
See, the problem is you trying to talk with your shit and you don't know nothing instead of listening. Huh?
I'm listening.
Okay? No. I get $40,000, nigga, and I dare motherfucker to pow!
With It's Up There podcast.
Hey, I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about, right? Outlook that I've been having, you know, because me being somebody that considers themselves, you know, kind of well put together, you know what I'm saying, well read and you know, upright and independent, you know what I'm saying? You get in a situation sometimes where after you get hurt, see, because we talking about dealing with a man that's been injured, right? And injured from a perspective of disappointed beyond understanding, right? When you somebody that values understanding and goes the extra mile to make sure that you understand things and try to put things in their proper place, and then you still fall short, right? It lends you a certain level of disappointment, regardless of whatever reasons may cause this. And most times for me anyway, it's about putting my trust in the wrong places, right? Or putting unrealistic expectations on things, right? It's like saying, you know, I'm gonna just hope and pray that pig fly. You know, well, you can hope and pray for however long. That ain't gonna happen. It's value in looking at things for what they are. Sometimes we fall victim of looking at things how we want them to be. You see, and that's what makes relationships so hard in regards to calling it quits, calling it off. It is because we always try to think, well, how could it be? And see, the older you get, you taught to deal with things how they are. You know, because you have no control over how they could or couldn't. You know, you have no control over what things land. Fortunate for us, as creators or as men that's valuable, we tend to put ourselves in a position to block out all hurt, right? So I won't allow nobody, you can't hurt me because I won't allow you close enough to hurt me, right? It's like walking on a tightrope too sometimes, because sometimes you get in stuff, man, and you don't know that people are closer to you than you thought, right? And so sometimes you fall victim to that. But nonetheless, just anticipating that hurt is involved with dealing with people, right? So we prepare for that. But there's some things that we not prepared for. You know, growing up, they tell us. Growing up, you've been told. You know, if you from a place like me, growing up, you've been told. Don't let them hurt you. Guard your feelings. Don't trust no gas. Don't trust nobody. You better make sure you on top of your. Don't trust them, man. Now you better watch them. Now they sneaking, and you also you dealing with your experiences. See, it's rough to tell a man to ignore his experiences. It's rough to tell a man to ignore his experiences. We talking about firsthand, things that I've dealt with firsthand. Not things that I've heard about. We talking about things that directly been involved with me. And I need to ignore that, but I think that's what comes with growth. You ignore your experiences because you know everybody ain't like somebody. Right? So you got this somebody that you battle with in your brain and you attach it to everybody. But then that's where you fall victim. Because everybody ain't the same, right? Even though it seemed like, but sometimes you in the wrong pond. They got some way better fish. They got some way better water. They got some way better in that other piece of ocean over there. But you keep coming to that same pond, that same type little area where it's easy to get the fish at. Them fish hungry, so they just, soon as you come within that old thing, they come. You don't want to go over there where the fish at, where you got to have the right bait on the hook. You understand? You want to stay where it's, so sometimes we got to blame myself. You know, but in growth comes with, hey man, I gotta understand that everybody ain't the same. So I'm ignoring certain experiences that I've been through. Like I've dealt with people that done me that done me like that before, and I think you might do that because you giving me those vibes. And sometimes we're projecting, right? And so you learn that. But we've been taught about the pain. We've been taught about the hurt. We've been taught, hey, man, watch what you're doing. You know, they'll lie to you. They'll say this. They'll say that. They'll be talking about you to their friends. You the only dude that ever helped them, done this for them. Or they'll be talking behind your back. You the only person that helped them, help their mama, help whatever they had going on. They get pleasure in tearing you down because everybody looks at you a certain way. But guess what? Fortunate for us, that information was already available that was going to happen. So although you can't fully prepare for it to after you experience it, you have just that notion that that's going to be a part of the situation as you grow and excel and try to be great within your own right. You know that's going to happen. They're going to go to talking. Yeah, 4 or 5 of them gonna go around each other. They gonna talk when they see me. They gonna say, I like what you're doing. They ain't gonna never post it or like it or share it because it's important that people know that they want to cut into you because everybody look at you a certain way. Certain people you can't cut into. Certain people, it's just, it is what it is. You ever heard a roller get rolled over? That's why mine's is fly get flown over. But to say, nonetheless, we get to prepare for it. You know, we've seen it. We know that it's there. We know that it's coming. What I never accounted for, and what I never knew was there. And see, because you know, when you somebody that feel like you go over and beyond, and you go further than everybody else, and you look where they won't look, and you take your time with it, and you carefully digest it and go through it with a fine-tooth comb. It's disappointing when you run into something that you never accounted for. And see, I knew they was gonna hate. I knew they couldn't hurt me. I knew I wouldn't need them for money, but I never factored in that they'd drain me. Yeah, they can't hurt me. Ain't nothing they can do with me, but they can drain me. They can drain you. See, that's a whole different fight. And it take a certain level of mind to understand when you somebody fountain, when you somebody's, you know, a problem dump or a dump where they come get all their negative shit off and comb through it with you. Everything just, dude, think a certain way. I'm close enough I can spill it on them. These things drain men. These things drain women. These things drain people. We got to know how to be an instrumental. I just told y'all about that. You see what I'm saying? So, again, as I excel, as I get better, as I learn more and more about, man, you ain't gonna have it all planned out. It's some stuff, man, that you would never thought would happen. You know, like I say, I've secured the money, I've secured the knowledge, I've secured the dream, I've secured the path, I've secured the equipment, I've secured the features, I've secured the interviews. I've secured everything, but I never thought about the draining. Because what you worth and what everybody else think you worth. See, what offends me about it is they'll do that and then act like they got nothing from you. I talk about it all the time. My most valuable asset is my mind. The smart people know that. The most valuable thing a man can have is you can't see it. The things that really make a man, you can't see it. When we talk about integrity, when we talk about morals, when we talk about outlook and interpretation and perception and perspective and knowledge and these things you cannot see. This is what makes a man, what you cannot see. Not when you see him, he got the big muscles. He got the bandana. He got the tattoo on his face. He got the gun on him. These the things that make him. This ain't nothing. You judge a man by most things that you can't even see. And so they come take from me my most valuable asset. Because if it was so easy, you would be like me and not ask nobody for. I don't know the last time I came to somebody and said, "Hey man, help me with this." So I was dealing with a person, man, and this happened, and then what they were trying to do was said. I don't know the last time I've done that. I have no luxury of doing that. And I'm okay with that, right? Because I know where to get the information. I know how to keep pushing. I know God is real, and He's right there, and He's guiding me through things. And long as I'm paying attention, I know which way to go. I don't need. You see what I'm saying? So it's a real thing, but the draining and the inconsistency in the message from people that say at one moment, "Hey man, you the best thing that ever happened to me, man. I wouldn't even be thinking this way." And then the next moment, you stingy, you didn't give me nothing. You didn't give me your time. I gave you my most valuable asset. How can something that means so much to me mean so little to you? I gave you access to the outlook. That's what means something to me. When I give somebody access to my outlook, because the problem ain't bigger than the solution. It's about how you look at it, how you navigate through things. And I stomped the yard. And everybody come get some of that. They come drain that. I'm like, yeah, everybody bring their Teslas. Everybody come plug up to it. Get what you can from it. Anybody think what it take for that power plant to stay charged, discharging all them Teslas? It take way, way more. And that's what it feels like when you deal with people like me. Sometimes you don't know. Like, you like, yo, man, it's unfortunate that I gotta, it's unfortunate that I don't have anyone to give anything to in regards to issues, problems, outlooks, business shit. Everything you see, do. That's why I say you don't know the cost I've paid. That's what's so nerve-wracking. It's a slap in the face when somebody think they can copy me and just do what I do and like it ain't no sweat equity involved in this. That's what disrespects the game. You know what it costs me to run this? Outside of money, you know what it costs me to be the kind of nigga that can do this with cameras and no help, no production, nobody here but me. You know what it take? You know what it took? The outlook I gotta have to be the kind of nigga that I am. You know what that take? But I'm knee deep in it. And I'm having fun doing it. But I need, it's important that I get the game out. You got to think about the drainage. You got to think about them draining you. They'll drain you. They'll drain you. So be careful. Be careful. I was telling my homeboy, man, you see in the street where a lot of street dudes, man, sometimes I say, man, like, I don't even know. You know what I think that separated me? Because I was somebody that I wasn't well put together for a long time. I wasn't well put together for a long time. And I'm going to save some of this for my documentary, right? But for a long time, I wasn't well put together. What happened to me was I started getting in the books. But see, it's a weird thing. That's easy for people to say, hey, man, go get you a book. Getting a book it's a different mindset, right? Because you got to activate something that enjoys nothing. You got to activate something in your mind that enjoys doing almost nothing. Now, you're feeding your brain, which with all of these high-level, superficial things going on in this world, feeding your brain may not be as fruitful, as rewarding, as watching a video or getting on YouTube or watching this but at some point I found the enjoyment of just messing with a book, right? And when I started getting in the books, I started saying, oh shit. They giving real game on here. They're speeding up the process. Then I got to thinking, I got it all into the Comanches and the history of all of it. I started getting over there after I, went through your regulars, just 48 laws, all of that, the regular shit, the penitentiary shit that niggas go through. I got to stop saying that so I can monetize better. But, I went through all those books, but I started reading about, this is how they've been doing it for hundreds of years. They pass the information on, whether that's paper or writing it on concrete or, you know what I'm saying, inside the caves. Like that's how you speed this process up. If we all got to start at level 1 and do nothing and learn it just by experience, it's a ceiling to that. But if you can pass some information over to me, that's why I talk about it in this game. It's access to information that I'm looking for, because I don't need you to be able to say, hey, I no longer like Loon. Shut him down. Name makes no money. I see Charlamagne going through something right now. Shout out Charlamagne. Again, I don't play with that. Whatever that is that they got going on, I don't play with that. Right? But it's unfortunate that we live in a place where your money can be affected by things that could or could not even be the case, right? So there's the new thing is the campaign to get somebody fired and lose their livelihood. That's the new thing, But you got to be careful with that, because everybody does get a turn. But this is the point I'm making. I need access to the information so that when situations do arise, if ever they do, not allegations of rape or what, I'm not even going, not any of those kind of allegations that we see going on now, right? But when things do arise, I need to know the inner workings of the business, because if I had to depend on you, we see it all the time with rappers. They got signed to big people. Long as they sign, they look like they making a little something, huh? Soon the rapper let them go, they busted and disgusted, huh? That's because he don't got no information. All his chicks coming through the man. He don't even know what he doing. He just going to the studio. He don't know they charging him $10,000 a day. He don't know his days. He ain't even going up there today just because they shot him an email and said studio booked for 4 straight months. He being charged. He done went 9 to 10 times each month. But they charged him 30 days each month. This is the games that's being played when you lack the information. This is why you see me telling you. We all can be friends and cool, right? We can be cordial. We can, yeah, but I need some information. Yeah, I need to hijack the process. Because what happens is, and that's the game I was giving, I've been giving people while they playing this YouTube game. The YouTube game is old. That's an old game. Still lucrative, but it's old game. I just seen where they got gypped out of 32 million with the crypto. This is, they finna put the monkey wrench in the game. This is the government, in my opinion, that's about to put the monkey wrench in cryptocurrency so that the American dollar can remain where it currently stands. Whether that's good or bad is depends on who you're asking, right? But we knew something was coming, either regulation or some kind of. So what they're gonna do now is, because the thing about Bitcoin is, or not Bitcoin, most cryptocurrency, I don't know about the new ones, but my understanding is that the owners are anonymous. It's like ran by the people. It's a cryptocurrency. It's not a there's no like Henry Ford, right? It's like it's a self-running type of thing, which is all good, which means the government can't has no one to hold accountable to tell to shut down, right? But also means that if it all disappears, who do you hold accountable? So I think the government is now about to start playing their game like, all right, we about to get them. We about to keep flush. We got to flush them out, make them think it's no good. See, you destroy the image of something. That's how you, that's what they did to the black dude. That's what they did to us. Destroy our image. Once you destroy the image of something, you ain't got to worry about it. Let it stay on the shelf. I told him it's poison when I know it's good for him. Let it stay on the shelf. Nobody ain't gonna buy it because we control the minds of you. I keep telling you, the mind is the most powerful thing. So if I've crept in your mind that it's dangerous to be there, just like the neighborhoods, they got dudes that's black that come from these parts that think it's dangerous to be there, but that's all the mind. It's about how you, and there's things going on that's dangerous there, right? That don't make it dangerous to be there. It's a difference. Words have definitions, and how you put them also indicates the meaning of it, right? In a sentence. So what I'm saying is, yeah, so the government, in my opinion, the government's throwing a monkey wrench in cryptocurrency. This is how they're going to try to get it out of there. That's how they're going to try to get it out of there. But I see the dope boys, man, and all the street dudes, sometimes, see, this is the thing about being smart and being ahead of the curve. You'll tell a dude, right? Whether you want to do business with them or not, right? You'll see somebody in the hood, a dope boy, and this is for people that starting restaurants, anything that they doing in the neighborhood. This is an observation that I just had, and I wanted to speak about. You can tell him, give me $100,000, I give you 20% of my company. And you know what he'll do? Okay, yeah. He'll be playing around. But you know what? What I learned is that in the streets we some of the smartest, but we lost with it. See, you confuse a smart man and you got a problem, because sometimes he's so smart he ain't gonna work his way out of it. It's too many variables. He gonna spend, you know what I'm saying? Is this so? When you confuse a man, you put him in a bad place. But in the streets, I say to myself, how you not invest in no businesses, be worth $500,000, right? You ain't investing in nothing. You got cold cash, you hiding it. I've been a part of it. I know you had money here hiding, running around trying to figure out You understand what I'm saying? You ain't invested in nothing except little stuff, 5-10 grand here. You ain't really took no 100 or 2 and really tried to step out of the pool. Get out the pool. Get out the pool. You ain't even and grab your towel and dry off. That's what I'm doing now. I'm drying off from the street now. But I try to encourage other dudes get out the pool, cause I watch them and I say, man, he ain't invest nothing in nothing. But this is the same person that got the fortitude to say the police come in and get $400K from him, $500,000 he took, or $100,000. $150,000 loss. Bam, they caught it, but they ain't catch no drugs, and they ain't really. They kind of confiscated it. It looking like it could be money laundering, but they don't know if they're gonna charge him. It wasn't his house. You know, it's loopholes in the case. But he just took $150,000 loss. He'll jump right back and get that back. But he wouldn't invest $150 in the business with that same type of drive. Like I keep telling people, you got to get out the pool, homie. You got to get out the pool. It's only so long for your skin start wrinkling and your skin start feeling funny. And you got to get out the pool, brother, and dry off. It ain't even enough to get off the pool. Get out the pool. See, some people think they can just get out the pool and still be dripping with water. What I mean by that is you ain't got your money. Your money's still filthy. You got a hid somewhere. You got 800,000. It's filthy though. You might have done got out the water, but you still wet though. You got to dry off, which means that 8 might turn to 4 right quick. But in 3 years it'll be 1.5. But if it get tight, I jump right back in the game. Sup? It's Up There Podcast, the only place you gonna hear something like that. Cause they ain't got that information. And then if they do, it's cause they were blessed in with a plug. Somebody in their family put them in. They ain't had to start from this and get to that. And it's on, you see how I gotta stay general. I can't go all the way down through there, cause of course I got hundreds of thousands of people that watch me. So I can't go all the way down through there, but I can stay on the general level, and it's talent in being able to do that. You understand me? But yeah, it's the only place you're gonna hear stuff like that. It's the only place. I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Holla.